We spent $1.6 billion, then another $1.6 billion. Unfortunately, sadly, because of the Democrats' obstruction, only $1.6 billion. Sounds like a lot, but it's not.
Remember the border wall? You guys remember that thing?
Remember that little thing called border wall?
Donald Trump, basically won on this idea of building a wall. When was the last time we talked about a stinking wall? I know, everything is so, it's such a diversion. We're not paying any attention to the business of the people. It's all diversion. And that's because that is the full investment of the American Democratic Party. They are fully invested in stopping this president. It's the only thing that unites them. And, you're seeing it before your eyes. The president has to remind us that he's going to build a wall. And it's going to be a beautiful wall, from what I understand. Wait, Tim Jones with us in studio. And you've been across the country talking about these tax cuts. Do people still talk when you've been in the presence of the president and he's giving these speeches? Is the wall still a consistent message for him?
The people want it. Yes, the people absolutely. So remember, if you think back, his message was simple, which is why Americans could understand it and connect with it. It was jobs, illegal immigration, defeat ISIS. Mm-hmm. Those were the three top line markers. Now,
he's doing pretty good.
I got to give him an A on jobs because he passed a tax cut for the first time in 25 years. And show me an economic marker that's not doing well. There aren't any. And on ISIS, now, ISIS is a fight, Taliban, whatever you want to call them, the Muj over there. They've been around since the beginning of mankind's birth on this planet, apparently, and they're never going to go away. But you do have to constantly bring the battle to them. And ISIS has been largely decimated. Now the Taliban is apparently now coming back. It's like whack-a-mole over there. But at least this president has taken the fight to them instead of the fight coming to our shores. I mean, there's been a lot less security concerns back home. I don't want to jinx anything, but when you have that mentality of I'm going to be tough on these characters and take the fight to them, then they're busy fighting over in the desert, over somewhere in the Middle East or in the Afghani mountains, and not in our airports and stuff and in our shopping malls, And
it's important. I mean, it's an important thing that for me, I'm not really one who's like, well, just trust the government. They know what's best.
Right.
Just let them take care of it. They see all the spreadsheets and documents, and they've got it. They've got our best interest in heart. When it comes to the defense of our country, I do feel like we should trust the people who are in charge, who have been on the ground, who have been in those meetings that take place in very secretive locations where they know the very ugly truth of what takes place in our world and not politicizing it.
That's one of the few constitutional directives. Defend the nation at home and abroad, right? Now, the wall, illegal immigration, that's an important part of that, right? Because the Dems always want the image of the illegal immigrant to be the poor, starving, downtrodden mother or father with their kids being ripped away from them, the refugees.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, when you have a porous border and a broken illegal immigration system, the terrorists can walk through just as easily, just with a little bit of acting the part, right? Dressing the part. They can come in and look like the refugee as well on our northern or southern border. So that has to do with that. It also has to do with economic freedom and stability because, the people who are traditional Democrats, African Americans, other minority groups, they should be outraged that the Democratic Party is trying to import all this cheap labor.
Yeah.
They should be outraged at that. Now, everybody who wants a job can have a job right now because we have more job openings than we have workers, which is a reason we need to fix our illegal immigration system and make it and fix our immigration system, period, because we are a nation of immigrants. I'm from a family of immigrants. Half my family came over on the boat from Italy in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So we want that. We want that workforce, that skilled workforce, that willing workforce, American dream. But we don't want people who are their only design is to sneak in here and do harm to us, economically or
otherwise. And there's nothing
otherwise.
wrong with saying that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with admitting that.
So, long story short, we need to get back to that. Yes, that's something Donald Trump needs to not drop.
And it seems as though he's not. I mean, he's still talking about it. I want to get to a couple of phone calls here before we take a break. Stacy, thanks for calling the show.
Yes, hi. I'm a first-time caller, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening.
I'm calling regarding a comment that a gentleman said earlier, he was a veteran, and he said he wouldn't go vote, and he encouraged everybody not to go vote. Well, I want to tell him, and I hope he's listening, he better think twice about that. He should go vote. This is the most important thing that we can do is go vote. And I wanted to say that he may not like what's going on with the Republican Party, and most of us don't. But our president, he is not one of them. So he's trying to do the best he can. And if he agrees, this gentleman, with how the country is going now, he should go vote. We're voting to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And by the way, I'm also an immigrant, and this is extremely important. We cannot just sit back and give up.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone who's listening to go vote if they want to make sure that this government continues the good job that they're doing. Imagine how much better he would be doing if we had some support.
You're right on, Stacey. Stacey, thank you for sharing your voice with us today.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Let's go to John. John, thanks for calling the show.
Yeah, thank you. The interesting thing is I see where he's coming from, the gentleman with the not going to vote, but I'd have to remind you of an old saying, because he's probably a little bit older than me, but somewhere. The old saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because when you don't go vote, that's what you're doing. You're throwing away what strides we've made. Is that really what he wants? He said that he felt we were going to be socialist in a few years. Well, is that what he wants to leave for his family? Not what I want. Here we have an opportunity, and the only chance we have is to vote and do what we can to push it out. By not voting, we allow it to take over.
John, thank you for calling the show and weighing in, and I think you're right. I mean, Tim, what do you say to those folks who, for whatever reason, maybe they really were passionate about a different primary candidate? Josh Hawley won Missouri very handily.
He did. Two great callers there who said it better than I could about the importance of voting with their personal stories and their feelings on it. We as Americans, it's not in our DNA to ever give up, is it? Even when, as what's his name from Animal House, did the Germans give up when they bombed Pearl Harbor? So
not to my recollection.
Even at the darkest times of our nation, we had brave men and women who, with heavy hearts and weights on their shoulders, stood up and said, no, we will soldier on. We will overcome this. We will be that shining city on the hill again that Reagan so eloquently talked about. And we've always come back, right? We were a nation at war with our brothers and sisters, in the 1800s. We literally tried to tear ourselves apart, but we had enough leadership that we came together and became a stronger nation. We fought through World War I. We fought through World War II. We fought through the Cold War. We fought through the Korean War, the Vietnam War. Not all successes, that's for sure. But we didn't give up, put our heads in the sand. Here we have a president now who's saying, Vietnam was a real dark moment in our nation's history. But look where we are now. We have a president, Donald Trump, who's trying to solve that decades-old problem. He's going back to it. That's what Americans always do. We always go back to it and try to make it better. And so that's the spirit, I think, of the Republican Party. We've always been the inclusive Big Tent party, always been the party to try to solve problems by bringing more people in. And the fact that we're now getting lectured on morality by this new left-wing liberal socialist democratic party.
Oh, wait, I was supposed to tell you to shut up.
What?
You're not supposed to be in here talking. You're a man.
Yeah, a while ago. What the
Katie,
heck are you doing in
Katie,
here?
you booked a man on my
There's
show.
two of us. There's two of us in here.
We have Kaylee McEnany on. She
let's-
can speak.
I'm not
She's a
talking,
woman.
though,
We
as
got
you see.
Yeah, Tony.
Tony's
we told
being
Tony.
hated.
I know my
You're
role.
Yeah, we went over Tony, and he knows very clearly.
Can I throw out some? Can I throw out some males? Three of them white males, but the party of Kennedy, Weiner, Clinton, and Keith Ellison are now lecturing us about morality.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
And the thing that I always go back to is we are not as stupid as they hope we are. And we proved that in 2016. They have not yet to accept it, but it is going to be up to the people in the state of Missouri and voters all across this country in the midterms in November to double down. And it's do or die time. I know it sounds sensational, like I said before, to say this is the most important election, but you will lose the progress that we have made by saying Hillary Clinton, no thanks, we're good, and putting Donald Trump in there, rolling the dice on a Donald Trump presidency and coming out way ahead with what he's been able to do, and it's so important to.
Can I tell you one last thing? Do not believe the projection of the media. What I mean by that is, Annie, everybody go back to where you were in late October of 2016. What were they telling us? It's in the bag for Hillary Clinton. There's no way Donald Trump can win. It's electorally impossible. The polls. Oh, we have got these polls, and they're all, he's trending, he's doing well, but there's no way he'll overcome it. Annie, they're doing the same exact thing. Why should we believe them now more than they're trying to convince you folks that it's no use going to vote, that you're going to lose? Let me tell you, even though here's what the important thing is to focus on what the media is not talking about. They're focusing on white suburban women as turning against Trump. And that may be true in some polls, but guess what they're not talking about? Trump is winning and gaining in the African American and Hispanic communities. And you notice how they don't talk about that? They don't mention African Americans and Latinos voting against Trump this time, because guess what? His numbers are rising in both those categories. So don't focus on what the media is telling you, because it's largely lies. I agree with Donald Trump. It's the fake news media. Focus on what they're not telling you. And that's probably where some truth and some optimism can be found.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim Jones, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, Andy.
It's always great to have you here in studio. You're welcome anytime. Tim Jones Show, Sundays, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on FM News Talk 97.1. Make sure you go to the website to find out more about that. We always appreciate having you in here.
Thanks,
okay. Annie, are you okay as soon as we come back? And go give us a follow on Facebook, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, the live webcam. You can watch the rest of the show here at 971talk.com/Annie. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
It ain't even right when the bartender says for the lady, what's it gonna be?
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Couple of showers and non-severe thunderstorms, though. 85 for the high, but look for temperatures to drop back into the 70s tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, 58 for the overnight low. The weekend, Saturday and Sunday, cooler, a fall feel, temperatures in the 70s. Think mid-70s Saturday, upper 70s on Sunday. The showers over the weekend, mainly southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. This is FM News Talk 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Randy Tobler Show.
On the next Tobler Show, we'll talk about the Democrats embarrassing themselves and the Republic. And ask, does D.C. stand for diabolically crazy? Sure seems so. Join in the discussion.
Randy Tobler, Saturday mornings.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Air Comfort Service, call them, 314-513-0091. We're in that weird St. Louis time where it might be, 20 degrees tonight, or it could be 100 degrees today, or maybe both. Both are possible. This is the time when you need to make sure that you are getting your heating and air conditioning unit serviced and your furnace serviced to make sure that it is ready to work for you when you need it to work for you. Because the point is to be comfortable in your home, and Air Comfort Service knows that, and they're invested in your own home that way. 0% financing right now for up to 72 months. You can call them about their furnace tune-ups, their Aero Seal. If you've got vents in your home that, like, if you're like me, I've got a 2-story home and the temperature upstairs is not the temperature in the mid-floor, they can come in and they can work on sealing all those ducts for you so that your house cools and heats appropriately and evenly. If you're interested in that for your home, again, you can reach out to them. You can give them a call for that at 314-513-0091. The call number is 314-513-0091. Online anytime at aircomfortservice.com.
There's big savings this month at Plaza Land Rover St. Louis. Save over $9,000 off MSRP on the 2018 Land Rover Discovery Sport. Or save more than $11,000 off MSRP on the 2017 Land Rover Discovery. Discover your adventure and save big at Land Rover St. Louis, a Plaza Motor Company. On Olive Boulevard in Creve Coeur and online at LandRoverSt.Louis.com. MSRP on 2018 Discovery Sport, $43,789. Stock number JH746185. MSRP on 2017 Discovery, $65,713. Stock number HA042155.
Message and data rates may apply. Please do not text and drive.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong